welcome back to the workshop. In today's video I'm going to be doing something very special. I'm going to be making the world's very first self-strumming guitar. Now I've got here an old guitar which frankly has seen better days. As you can see, it's falling apart. So I'm going to be using this, I'm going to modify this and make it self-strumming, and I'm going to show you exactly how right now. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to get a little DC motor. I'm going to fit that maybe about there, cog on the end of it, belt stretching across this cavity, and on the belt is going to be mounted a series of cut down plectrums, and they're going to strum the strings from underneath. This is going to be cool. So I've got the guitar. Where am I going to get all the other bits to make this contraption? Well, I just happen to have here an old printer, and I reckon inside there that there's belts, pulleys, cogs, motors, all the stuff that I'm going to need to do it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rip it apart in super fast speed on camera, and I'm going to see what's in there. So this is going to be like a marriage of guitar and printer, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've got loads of really useful stuff out of that printer then. Top of the list has got to be these two motors, both of which will run off a 9-volt battery, so it doesn't really matter which one, so I think they're the same as each other. But one of those is going to power my strumming mechanism. So, as you can see here, we are sort of winning. So this mechanism is sort of working now, not quite as I intended to, but it is working, so I'm going to press on with it as it is. I made a little mechanical engineering mistake in that I forgot that you can't actually drive one wheel off another wheel by means of a single beam, because when you get to the end position on the first wheel, the second wheel has then got a choice whether to go up or down, and it always chooses a different one every time, so it doesn't ever work. The only way to make that work, like on the wheels of a steam locomotive, is to have another beam on the other side offset at 90 degrees, so it always keeps going the same way. But you don't care about that. What's important, I've got a working model, and we're going to press on and see what happens next. But before we do anything else, I'm going to show you this huge gaping hole through the middle of the guitar. I'm a bit worried that if I fit the neck to here, string it up, put some tension on it, this bit of the body is just going to snap because there's only this tiny bit of wood there and this tiny bit of wood there holding it together. So before we go any further, I'm going to get some bits of steel, I'm going to strengthen the back up. So that's what we're going to do now. just had a really good reminder about the importance of keeping your workspace tidy. I've now lost 2 of these, which are the screws that hold the neck on the guitar, so I'm going to have to pull everything out from under the bench and see if they've fallen down the back, and if I can't find them, I'm just going to have to find a couple more that are about the same size, stick them in instead. I mean, we're at a stage now, there's not too much more I can do with this guitar to damage it, so it doesn't really matter, but think on, lesson learned, be warned. While the wood glue is drying, I'm going to have a little look at the electrical system. Now there's 2 systems to put in place here. First one, normal guitar system, so that's pickup, 2 output jack via a volume control. This was a 3 pickup guitar with a pickup selector, 2 volumes, 1 tone. I'm going to lose all of that. I'm going to have single pickup because there just isn't space for 3 pickups anymore once I put the motor and the battery in. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build the circuit that drives the electric motor that drives the mechanism. Now the more observant amongst you might notice that I've changed the mechanism a little bit. I've got rid of the second cog on the top because I was just finding that the motor was having a bit too much difficulty pushing them both around. There were synchronization issues, and it's just a much more simple system having the capture bolt like you can see here, and I just think it's going to work a whole lot better. So, we made a breakthrough. It's finally working. Watch this. Hey! Now there's one little snag, and that's that because this is such a simple circuit, we've got motor, battery, potentiometer. The control over the speed of the motor is a little bit off and on. There's not really any kind of graduated scale of speed control. So to solve that, I've been looking on the internet. It seems this is possibly the worst way to control a DC motor. This is all going to get a bit boring and technical now, but I'm going to go anyway. Supposedly the best method is pulse width modulation, which I looked up a circuit for. It looks incredibly complicated. Good news is you can buy a pre-assembled circuit for £3 on eBay, so I've ordered myself one of them. As soon as it comes, I'm going to slap it in there, and I'm going to have super fine, super control over how fast this little thing goes. So there. Right, so my speed controller finally arrived. It's very simple. There's 4 screw terminals on the bottom, 2 for power, 2 for the motor. Couldn't be easier. Wire them all up, and here we go. So next thing, put it all back together, and we need to fit some plectrums onto this bar so it's going to pluck. And then it's going to be done! Yes! I've just had a very good idea. I was going to cut grooves into this, but I think if I just fit cable ties, the long end sticking up, and cut them at the right length, then they're going to pluck the strings. Let's give that a try. So I've had to have the neck back off and replace one of the neck bolts just to get the action looking a little bit more. That's not bad actually, that's really good. to get it a bit more playable, which I think it is now, so that's good. So I'm going to restring it. I'm going to put a load of these cable ties to pluck the strings, cut them to length. I'm going to give it a go. Just got to show you this quickly. 3, 2, 1, go. It lives! Yes! I am way happy with that. I am so pleased. There we go. Let's get the rest of them on. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think this has worked, so check this out. Self-strumming guitar, take 1. Okay, so there are some issues with this, I'm happy to admit. Battery life's a problem, shielding's a problem, it's never going to properly be in tune again. If you play high notes, it puts a bit too much, makes the strings a bit too hard for the motor to pluck. So I need to put a more powerful motor in, but as a Mark 1, as a proof of concept, it works, it's brilliant, and I'm really happy. There is going to be a Mark 2 of this guitar. More powerful motor, maybe wire it up to the mains instead of a 9-volt battery. I quite fancy a MIDI pedal, so I can press a pedal for a strum instead of just having it on a cycle. There's places to go with this, there's things to do, there's concepts to explore, so I'm going to come back to this, and maybe in a future video there will be a Mark II of this one. It'll be an even bigger and better and shinier and more awesome version than this is. So with that in mind, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I've had a blast building this, I've really enjoyed it. So give me a like, give me a comment, give me a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!